March the 8th, 2017. There's news coming in from Energy News this morning, guys. You need to pay attention to this. A few weeks ago, I did a video, and many other people on YouTube did, where the U.S. Air Force had sent a nuclear sniffer plane over Europe. And there was a wave of radiation spreading, and no one knew where it was coming from. They may have found the culprit here. It says an alarm at a nuclear plant after radioactive leak damaged fuel in the reactor. Guys, this is not good. Workers immediately evacuated from site. Reactor in a very special condition, in quotations. Dangerous neutron flux in core has been reported. Now, the article says Neil Balmer, he was a nuclear physicist formerly with the Norwegian Radiation Protection Authority, or NRPA. On March 3rd, 2017 is when this started coming out, but in October the 25th, it brought reports that there was a release of radioactive iodine from the Halden reactor in Norway. Remember, that's what they were picking up, the iodine-131. The iodine emission began when the IFE, or the Institute for Energy Technology, that should have dealt with a damaged fuel in a reactor hull. This led to a release of radioactive substances via the ventilation system. The next day, the NRPA conducted an unannounced inspection of the IFE. The situation was still unresolved, and radioactive releases were still ongoing into the environment, guys, out the ventilation system. The ventilation system was then shut off to limit further releases. Then this, in turn, created a more serious problem. Pressurized air kept the valves in the reactor's cooling system open, which in turn stopped the circulation of the cooling water. In the following days, the NRPA continued to monitor the reactor's safety and received notice from the IFE that the reactor was in a very special condition. What that meant was that the IFE had discovered temperature fluctuations in the reactor vessel indicating an increased neutron flux in the core, and with that, the danger of hydrogen formation. Bologna would like to note that it was hydrogen formation in the reactor core that led to a series of explosions at the Fukushima power plant. The IFE, therefore, has asked the NRPA for permission to open the valves again, even if that meant releasing radiation to the public. It seems the IFE further didn't understand the seriousness of the situation. We at Bologna are concerned that the reactor core may become unstable by just closing the vents. Hydrogen formation in the reactor core is very serious, as Fukushima showed. Guys, that's where this iodine-131 may have very well been coming from. Remember, we looked at the all the information that was provided to us at that time, and the only thing we could see was that, as far as iodine-131, was Fukushima getting into the Arctic vortex and traveling around the northern hemisphere. We didn't have this information. But remember, iodine-131 has a half-life of just under 8 days, so that means it's not radioactive after that first week. So it has to be moving extremely fast or very local for you guys there to be picking it up. And I did notice in Europe, we're starting to get more and more markers on our radiation map. Let's continue reading this. The Independent says radioactive leaks reported at Norwegian nuclear reactor. Staff at the facility were evacuated immediately after the incident. We will investigate how this could have happened and why we were not warned until the following day. The NPRA said in a statement, its head of safety, per Strand, added, "We need to gather more information, but we are not happy with the situation that we were not warned immediately." But guys, they should have warned every person on the planet immediately. The local out of Norway says those who were in the reactor hall during the incident were evacuated when an alarm sounded. Workers have since been back in the hall in an attempt to identify the cause and extent of the radioactive discharge. Our focus now is that IFE gets the leak stopped. Guys, if this is a very special situation, you may be having a meltdown that's causing this flux. And if that's going on, they're going to have a lot of trouble. They better get right on it. And you guys in Norway and across Europe and everybody that has input need to put some pressure on these people. This is not good. Says NBC News, Norway nuclear reactor leaks radioactive iodine. Of course, it's an unfortunate situation, but there's a low environmental risk. Guys, 131 will kill you. Plant officials said a technical failure. This is coming out of Voice of America. A technical failure during the handling of fuel led to the release of radioactive iodine 131 and 132 to the reactor hall. They said the staff were, again, immediately evacuated. So this may be the problem, because that's exactly what everyone was picking up, was this radioactive iodine 131. There's potassium iodide, guys, in the proper dose is supposed to block this stuff from getting into being absorbed into some of your organs. So study up on that, and again, radioiodine, and make sure the dose is proper. That's very important. Now, quickly to our website, bpearthwatch.com. Guys, there's been a great response to this radiation map already. It's competing here in the U.S. with the maps that have been around for years. One question I've had, and I'm digging into it, you guys be patient, and that is if I can find a widget that I can input into this thing. And again, my wife is doing it. I'm sitting here with her, but we need to get it to where you can edit your marker in case you make a mistake or want to update it. So be patient with that, but take your time and to insert your information, because if you accidentally hit enter, it's going to put the marker. Now, it happened to me, I know, and so we're digging into this. But what you can do is go back exactly on top of your marker and put another marker right on top of it. And what we're going to do is, as we see how this thing goes, we're going to give it a week. We may do a sweep. In other words, take off the markers, let everyone come back in and put a new marker once a week until we get this done. And we may do it anyway, because one thing I've noticed about some of the radiation maps that I've been watching for years is there's some outdated material. Sometimes you'll see stuff from 2015 meter readings and things like that, guys, and that's not very useful, and it's clogging up the map. But we're going to work on this. Again, I wanted to get where we can edit your markers. I saw a lot of comments in the YouTube video before this one, so that we're going to work hard on it. We've been working hard on the entire thing. But the manufacturers for the meter that you're seeing right here contacted me. We back and forth on the email. We have sold them out. They're ordering new ones now. They didn't know exactly why they were getting the sudden rush, and you guys are always amazing at doing stuff like this. I've done videos to where it flooded the website, shut down servers, things like that when we were doing links. But what they did, and this was not planned by us, but it is a blessing, I'm going to take it, is they said, BP, since you're selling so many meters, just put an ad link on your website and you'll make a couple bucks a meter. So, of course, we're going to do it, and that will help with what we're doing here. Again, it wasn't planned to be a distributor for the meter, but because of what you guys did, they saw the input come from BP Earthwatch, the website and the YouTube videos. They tracked it down, and some of you guys must have commented, said, I saw this on BP or something. I'm not sure how it happened, but they are out of the 320. They've got the 300. They're getting a couple other ones, but click here and it will go to their full page. Again, guys, I wasn't trying to commercialize this thing at all, but they contacted us after you guys bought everything they had. But let's look at the map. Now, all you do is come across the navigation bar at the top and go to the last one. It says U.S. radiation map. We're going to change that because it's now a world radiation map. Just be patient, but click there, and that's going to send you here. It's called the bpearthwatch.com World Rad Report. Just scroll down. You can see the areas. And what we did, we had to actually, this is an external page because we had to use WordPress here instead of our web building software. But it takes you to the map. And again, I'll just quickly go over it. You can, in your title, you can put anything in there you want. You can put your name, address, or your handle that you go by. It doesn't matter. But in the marker address and the marker description, That's where you can put your counts per minute, your average, maximum, your microservants, milliservants, anything you want to do like that. But just play with it. But take your time before you enter it, because right now it's hard to go back in and edit the markers. We'll get that worked out. Just be patient with us. You can also put a file up if you want to take a picture of your meter, which a lot of people have requested as you're hitting your max count, and leave the meter on 30 minutes or an hour, guys. You can just set it there, and you can turn your alarm on or off where you click as it gets counts per minute. We're getting 22 here in central Mississippi this morning. I'm going to go in and overlay my marker until we do a clean sweep, until we can get the correct way for you guys to go in and do a correction or an update. But again, if we do the clean sweep, that means that we will get new readings each week. So everyone keep participating, because this is going to be very handy. And we're going to get into other things that people have talked about as far as possibly air quality, different types of radiation. But one thing at a time. It's just a small operation here, and it takes time to put this together, especially when you're not a web builder or programmer to speak. You know what I mean. But guys, it's been incredible. Let's look at the map. Now you can see the U.S. is going to be hit first, but it's spreading worldwide. You guys in Norway, you need to get on this, especially with that reactor leaking. And Ireland, UK, now you know where that 131 is coming from. And it's going to be moving all across Europe. Again, this is high enough north to be entangled into the Arctic vortex. But look at this, Alaska, Japan. We needed that. We need more from Japan. Now, be careful when you put your markers. I've seen some that you put the information in, but you didn't locate your marker, and it may be in the middle of the ocean or something. So pay attention to that. But Australia, New Zealand, you can come here and do your readings. Puerto Rico, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, here in China. Again, look at the, let's just pull up, since we're talking about this nuclear reactor there. In Manchester, we're getting maximum CPM of 28 counts a minute. Over near Dublin, 66. This is with an Inspector US meter CPM. Now, we're using the GQ320 Plus. That's what I have, and many of you have. And this is a learning curve for me with these meters, and I'm getting a lot of input from you guys that have been doing this a long time with different meters. So put your type meter in there, and put any information, again, in the description and of your marker. You can put a lot of stuff there that would explain the difference in readings between the meters and things like that. Just help us out. But we're watching this, guys. It's, again, this I think will be, by the end of the week, probably the largest radioactive map as far as tracing, CPM count, microservants, things like that in the world. Very well could be because of you guys. This is a heads up. Be safe.